Hi everyone, it's Lindsay. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you some brush foiling. This video is part of the Save the Crafty YouTuber video hop. Now if you don't know, the Save the Crafty YouTuber hop is a collection of really great card making artists who share their videos, and we're all joining together to support each other and help each other reach our goals. This hop is full of inspiration and prizes as well, so leave a comment at each stop along the way and include whether you are international or the USA for certain prizes. Also, when you are done with my video, be sure to hop on to the next spot, which the link will be directly below in the description box. So let's go ahead and get started on my card today. I will be using this die set from Cat Scrappiness. This is the uppercase condensed alpha die set. All the supplies, everything I'm using, will be listed and linked down in the description box as well. Now, I love using this die set to create customized sentiments and cards for people that I'm sending them to. So this one was actually for my kiddos to give to their grandma for Mother's Day, and they call her Nana. So I went ahead and die cut several N's and several A's. I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 thick for each letter. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the top one of each letter, and using my hot foil gel, which is from the Crafter's Workshop, I'm going to use a foam brush and just brush on this gel from the bottom up. What I like to do is go ahead and dip my foam brush into that hot foil gel and get a little bit of product just on the very tip of that foam brush. Then starting off the edge of that piece of cardstock that I'm working on, my die cut, I like to go ahead and put my foam brush down and then just come up from the bottom in very swiping and flicking motions. I'm not going over the whole die cut, just the very edge up towards the top and then lifting up about halfway through. Now you can use a brush for this, but I find for me the foam brush actually works a lot better for this technique and it gives me better results. Now with this, you are going to need to let that gel dry. It doesn't take but a few minutes because it is such a thin layer. So I set it off to the side and let it dry while I worked on other things, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to skip around a little bit and I'll show you how to finish this off. You'll know the gel is dry whenever it goes clear. Goes on white, dries clear. Super simple. Then whenever it's dry, go ahead and start making your sandwich for the foiling. I like to use a piece of computer paper that's folded in half. I lay my die cuts in there with the gel facing up and then put a piece of foil on top of those, shiny side, pretty side facing up. Close that sandwich and then we're going to run it through our laminator or a ink machine. I use the Royal Sovereign laminator. I like to get it as hot as I can, so I put it on that 5 mil and I let it heat up for a good 15-20 minutes. So while I'm doing my die cutting and getting that gel on, I'm letting that heat up the entire time. Now I have my sandwich ready to go. My laminator's heated up, so all I need to do is feed this through. I like to go with the folded side going in first so it doesn't get caught and jam up on me. Then I pull it out, let it cool for a few seconds. This gel is super strong when it goes through, so you don't need to run it through twice. Once is good enough, and then you can go ahead and start pulling these out, and you have this gorgeous half foiled with brush strokes in it. I absolutely love the look of these. Now with that gel, you might have a little bit that transfers onto the sides or the back, and when you run that through your laminator, it could get stuck to the underneath paper. Just pull it up. It's not that big of a deal. It's just little pieces holding it down. Now I did this on white cardstock, which is gorgeous. However, you could do this on patterned paper, colored cardstock, even some ink blended cardstock that you die cut too, for really, really fun looks that are this half brush stroke foiled whenever you're finished with them. I love the way this turned out. So that's the technique, but I also want to show you how I finish this card off. I will be using this very small stamp set from Altenew. It's called Floral Elements, and I will also be using the matching die set as well. But I like to do all of my stamping first, so I went ahead and grabbed this stamp set, and I'm stamping those leaves with some eucalyptus ink. These inks that I'm using are from Catherine Pooler, who is a big sponsor today, so be sure to show her some love as well with her products. Then I'm going to go ahead and start with this large flower that's in the set, and I'll be stamping that with polished ink. Now, as I'm stamping these, you can see in the top left corner, I have my little pieces that I set off the side to dry. Now, this video is a little out of order, so while those were drying, this is what I was doing. I was stamping and die cutting, so no time was wasted when making this card. I just edited it around for video purposes. Now, next up, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this kind of half open flower with some sugared lavender ink, and then I moved on to the little centers or little berries as I'm using them today. I stamped those with shea butter for the larger one, and then some skylight for the smaller one in the top right corner. Finally, I'm going to finish off with over coffee ink and stamp in those little centers, those little specks in the centers of the larger flowers, and then also in the little sugared lavender purple flowers as well. Now, once those were done, it was time to die cut all of these. What I like to do when die cutting a lot of images like this is get as many through my die cut machine at one time. To do that, I go ahead and place each die down, line it up, and hold it down with painter's tape. Now in this video, I'm using blue painter's tape. However, I have found a delicate surface painter's tape, which is purple, which works so much better and doesn't get stuck near as easily. Now I die cut all of those, then I went back and foiled my images. Now it's time to start assembling everything together. What I did was I die cut 3 times for each letter that I would be using. So I die cut 6 A's and 6 N's. Then I'm going to layer up 3 of them each, with the last one on top being that foiled image. This is going to give them a little bit of dimension without having to put any foam adhesive or foam paper behind it as well. Just a good way to get some dimension without a lot of work. And all you have to do is glue those pieces of cardstock together. Then I went ahead and die cut a rectangle from the zigzag rectangle die set from Cat Scrappiness as well. And I'm going to add a little bit of stenciling on top of that. I'm using one of my favorite stencils. This is the plaid fringe stencil from the Crafter's Workshop. And I'm bringing in some of that skylight ink that I used to stamp my little berries with. I'm putting that through my stencil with one of my makeup brushes from Amazon, and that is just going to give me a really nice overall look to the background, give a little interest, and also pull in those colors from the floral bouquets that I made into the overall finished card. Now finally, I'm going to go ahead and add my Nana sentiment to my rectangle. And to get that nice and straight, I'm using my Tim Holtz ruler and just lining these up. What I like to do is space them out first, and then once I have everything spaced out exactly where I want it, then I go in and glue it down one by one with liquid adhesive. That liquid adhesive gives me a little bit of playtime so I can move everything around. Once it's all in place, it's good to go and ready to be attached to the card. I attach that to an A2 side folding card base that I'm using horizontally, and finally I'm going to attach my flower bouquets. Now I die cut a lot of these. I'll have a lot of pieces left over. That's okay. I'll use those on another card. I like to have more than what I need, then I don't have to get all the products back out and make some more if I don't have enough. I layered those up, added some foam tape to the back, and attached those to the sides of my rectangle for a finished look. I stamped on the inside of this card, and that finished the card. I love the way this one came out. I absolutely love the brush stroke foiling look, and I can't wait to use this on more cards as well. That's going to do it for me today. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my channel and my videos, don't forget to subscribe before you head on to the next video on the hop. Thanks for watching, and happy crafting, everyone.